Hello everyone, it's me, I'm back. It's a funny thing, I was looking into my channel and seeing like if I had any new views, any new comments or anything, and I saw that they didn't have much. And I went to look into my videos, and I went on the edit, the little part where it says when you click on the three dots, and it gives you all the options, and you get the option to edit. And then I click edit, and I realized that I didn't tag any of my videos. So no shit, nobody's watching because it's you can't find them basically. So what I'm going to be doing for this time, this video, is another book haul, and this one is going to include some books I've gotten recently and the current read. So let's just get into it. So for my read, my current read is Essays and Aphorisms by Arthur Schopenhauer. I just finished reading on the suffering of the world, and it's a collection of a bunch of essays. Some of them are actually also in this book. So I'm kind of like reading some of these. I've read them twice, pretty much. I'm not that far ahead. I've just made it 80 pages. I haven't gotten that far ahead. I get a lot of books, but the philosophy ones always take a little longer. Whereas if I read novels or just fiction, I can just read a book a week. Every week I read a new book. But if it's philosophy, I take a little bit longer. I think it's because I have to stop and like consider more carefully like the ideas that are being explained, especially if it's like essays and sort of like more fleshed out philosophy books. With novels, it kind of comes to you as you're reading it, and you reflect on it and you think on it, but it sort of also just comes to you, and that's how you get the point. And yeah, you can also like read it multiple times because it's a little easier than reading philosophy books. I'm probably gonna read this again as well as On the Suffering of the World, and I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna see some things that I'm gonna be like, oh wow, I think I misunderstood this. You never know, but that's that. And I did not set up a place to put the books after. Let's just move them a little forward. And actually, that's probably a bad idea because it's gonna go from smaller to. So you see, I have them like I have the biggest at the bottom, and then one that is similar size, and then another one that is a little similar size but a little smaller, similar size but a little smaller, and just like that until it gets to the smallest. It's just the way that I order it. I'm just gonna put this one there for now. So this one was pretty interesting. I found this at a used bookstore here in my city, Sartre, on Cuba. The first-hand account of the revolution in Cuba and the young men who are leading it, who they are and where they are going. Now the funny thing is, I had been getting into history of Cuba, and I got into it because I started looking more into Che Guevara, basically, who's a fascinating person to study. And I did hear that Sartre called Che Guevara the most well-rounded or the most complete man of the 20th century. So it was kind of interesting that I found him right there. And I have another one on my shelf here by Jean-Paul Sartre as well. His existentialism is a humanism. So I've been getting some of his books to try and see like what he's about. That's what I do, like I'll get books from an author not knowing if I like them or if I'm going to like them. But the thing is, if I don't like them, I can always just either gift the books or sell them myself. So to me, it's a win-win situation. So I kind of just like buy them anyways. And yeah, and like after looking into Cuba and looking at videos of people going to Cuba and like showing how the situation is there today, I just found this one. I didn't even look for it. It was just there and just sitting there. Something really cool is that it has some highlights. Whoever owned it before highlighted a few key important things, or things that they found interesting. They went a little crazy on this one. I like that because I used to not like that because I also have this thing, right? Like if I go to Barnes and Noble or I order a book online and it has just the smallest imperfection, it bothers the fuck out of me. But with books that come from like a used bookstore, the more used it looks to me, the better. As long as it's still readable and it still looks nice. And you would think that if that's the case, I would fucking hate to find books that are like written on and things like that. But when it's an used book like this, it kind of gives it a little bit more of personality, and it gives you a little bit of guidance, right? Or like an insight into somebody else's mind. And who knows, maybe like from the things that they highlight, I'll find some interesting things. They don't really get in the way either. Like you'd think that if it's highlighted with pen or something, it would just like make the words impossible to read, but not really. I don't know if you can see that, but it's still very readable. Pretty interesting. And then he made some interesting notes as well. Or she, I don't know. If this is he or she. By the handwriting and the messiness of the highlighting, I would say that this is a man. This was a man. Never mind, this is definitely a woman. This is definitely a woman. And let me see if I can find any other notes from this person. I don't know if it actually says. Maybe it says who owned it. No, it doesn't say. But it's very old. You can tell by the color of the pages it's a very old copy, which makes it very interesting. So let's put this one to the side as well. Just this over here. I had to turn off my fan. It's very hot in here. Like crazy hot, in fact. Let me check. I'm checking the temperature right now. Jesus Christ. It is 1:12 in the morning. 1:12 in the morning. It's Friday. And the temperature right now is 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, Fahrenheit. Jesus Christ. Oh fuck, it says expect 104. If anybody out there is watching this, please send ice. Send me water. And I just realized I said send ice with like the current situation of things. Probably a very poor choice of words. It's terrible things happening right now with ice. Straight up kidnapping people. But whatever. Let's just keep going. I'm gonna pick this one next. This one is To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. It's a 1967 copy. And it has a little writing in the first page. This is the sticker that says the price. $25 for this because it's a 1967 copy. It's a very nice copy. Although I don't like the plastic. I can probably take it off actually. Yeah, I probably can. Although I do have to say I like when books are like just like that, you know. But green is not really my color, so I might just leave the other one. So I will do that later. Let me just put it out there and fix it later. But yeah. So Virginia Woolf. I don't know much about Virginia Woolf. This would be the first novel that I read from her. And hopefully I enjoy it. Because yeah, I don't think I have any of her books here. I don't think I have any of her novels. I wouldn't know because I have so many right now that at this point sometimes I'll buy a book and then I'll realize I had it the whole time and now I'm like fuck. But again, if that happens I can just sell one of the copies and keep the other one. But yeah, this is a really nice very nice copy. Old vintage copy. I like those kinds of finds. Let's see if I can maybe it's like good for the ASMR. Maybe a little bit. Oh, it's got some tape. Oh, I see what they did. This is with theme. Okay. Bastards. It's gonna be a bitch to take it off. Let's just put it back on the book, and then later I can take it off if I want to. But for now. I can just leave it as is. So yeah, 1967 copy, very vintage, very nice. The Lighthouse, Virginia Woolf's fifth novel, was first published in 1927, and though her previous novels, Mrs. Dalloway, was recognized as remarkable, this was the first to win her a considerable public. Interesting. So, hopefully it wins me as a reader. Next, we are looking into critical encounters, democracy, capitalism, ideas by Wolverking. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Streak. I'm pretty sure that's the pronunciation. It should be at least. I don't know why they would not pronounce it like that, but this one is interesting. I got it because I like the little hold on. Is this also plastic? I think this also has plastic. Oh no, that's just the cover. In the synopsis kind of thing that it has on the side, it says, from the acclaimed author of How Will Capitalism End comes an omnibus of long-form critical essays engaging with leading economists and thinkers. Critical Encounters draws on Wolfgang Streak's inimitable writing for the London Review of Books and New Left Review, among other publications. Sorry, my reading was kind of weird there. The words are in black, of course, and the background is like dark greenish brown, and it's very dim in here, so I can't see, and my eyesight is already not the best. So, sorry for that. But yeah, I just found this one interesting. I wanted to read a little bit on capitalism and see like what's been written on it. So this one is gonna be an interesting read. I hope to read it soon. Sometimes I'll buy like books like that, and they will be on my shelf in my reading list for like a long time. And then one day I'll remember I have them, and that's when I pick them up. one does have a lot to do with developing ideas for me and things that I'm exploring. So this one will go down very quickly. Next, we have Meditations by Thomas More. And this one is just, I just saw that it was a very nice copy. Sometimes I get books just for the very artistic aspect of it. Now I'm pretty sure I read a book by Thomas More called Thoughts in Solitude. I think it was called. I think that was him. I'm not sure, but I did buy it because I thought that was him. And now that I remember, I did not bother to check either then or now. But I still got it because I thought it was a nice book. And if I don't like it, I can always just sell it. So, Thoughts in Solitude. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. Or maybe I have him confused with another Thomas, you know. Oh no, that was Thomas Merton. I lent that book to my friend so that he could read it because it was pretty much a Christian book. So I lent it to my friend so that he could read it. Yeah, Thomas More. I'm not familiar with him. At least I don't think. I feel like I have read his name someplace. I feel like I have heard of him, but I've never really read him. All I know is that I always find like books with it's always a Thomas name. And if it's a Thomas name for some reason, I always think it's Thomas More. So hey, here's one. Maybe I'll start reading him. So hopefully I enjoy his writing, and if I don't, we can always sell it. Maybe this can help in the channel, you know, like if anybody's watching and I end up not liking it and you would like to buy it, yeah bro, just email me or send me a DM or something. I don't think I have my email on the on my channel, but I'll put it if people if I do get someone saying that they would like to buy a book they saw here. But it has to be a book that I have either that I have read and not liked, or that I don't mind selling. I don't want to sell the something from my personal collection. Although, you know, who knows? Everything's negotiable, right? Like if you saw this one, yeah, Vladimir Nabokov, and I liked it, and it's a very like vintage copy as well, and it's very very fancy. But maybe you tell me, hey man, that's a pretty nice book. I'll give you $600 for it. Then I might be like, fuck yeah, dude! Like, fuck the book. You can keep it. But it's a nice copy. This is King, Queen, and Knave. Well, I guess just King, Queen, Knave. Doesn't say and. Now, I have not read much of Vladimir Nabokov. I know that he wrote Lolita. I have not read Lolita either, and I'm not even sure that I want to, because I have heard what it is about, and no thank you. No please. Oops. Sorry. I have a very flimsy setup here, but it'll work. But yeah, no, I know that story of his is very, yeah, no. But this was a nice copy, and this one, maybe I'll enjoy this one. I hope. Maybe I should have looked into what it is before I bought it. Because imagine if it's something like that. I mean, I doubt that that's all he wrote about, you know. This is probably like nothing to do with it. And I think he wrote Lolita specifically to write something uncomfortable. And it's supposed to be like humorous. Like some people have told me that it's supposed to be it's not a comedy, but it's sort of like in the spirit of satire, without being strictly satire. I don't know, it's a weird work. But hey, the Russians, am I right? The Russians are weird. The Russians are very weird. In fact, I have another book over there, in fact, that I should probably get to give an honorable mention to. Okay, I got it. I got the book that I'm gonna give an honorable mention to. In fact, you can't see what it is until we are done. If you want to find out what it is, I guess you're just gonna have to stay until the end. But let's jump in. Oops. Let's jump into our next book. The Red Badge of Courage and Other Stories by Stephen Crane. Now I know that Stephen Crane also wrote Maggie, the girl of the streets, I think it's called. I think I have that one somewhere here, but I haven't read it. I did recognize the name, and if it says short stories, like if it says and other stories, if it's an anthology, a book of anthology of stories, it's very likely that I'll get the book. And for one, they were running a sale. This one was like $4. They were running a $4 sale and a bunch of books, which is really nice. So for $4, you get some more of his writing and in other stories. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna read Maggie, the Girl of the Streets one of these weeks, and then see, from that I'll see if I like his writing, and then either whether I do or don't, I'm still gonna read this to see if he has other redeemable qualities to me. Not redeemable like he's a bad writer, you know, like he could be a very good writer, but just not my cup of tea. I think people forget about that sometimes. Like they conflict. They have a conflict between if something is good and if something is if I like something, and they sort of like confuse the two. Just because you like something doesn't mean it's good. You can like garbage, and guess what? You're allowed to like trash. You can like it. This morning I went to fucking McDonald's and I got a McGriddle. You know, it's bad, you know. It's not good food and it's not healthy. But I enjoyed it. Same thing with this kind of media, same thing with books, movies, things like that, especially in books. If you like it, it's one thing. If it's good, it's another. Something can be that straight up a masterpiece, but just not your cup of tea. And something else can be really bad, but be really fun for you and something that you really like. So I'm just making that little parenthesis because I think people have a problem with those two. Oops, sorry. Sorry, I thought I heard a door. And lastly, I have conflate. That was the word. Sorry, it's 1:20. Oh fuck, it's already 1:28. I've been recording for 24 minutes. It's very late, and I'm pretty sleepy actually. So I forgot what the word was. I think I said conflict. I think it was conflict that I used. I meant conflate. What's the word? It just escaped my head. I'm sorry. Anyways, we have here some collected poems of Edgar Powers. I don't know who that is, but this one was also $4 in the same sale, and I thought, why not? And so yeah, wait, hold on. Oh no! Yeah, you see. Oh. It says that it was $12, but you see the 4. That means it was put on sale for $4. So for $4 I got this little compilation of poems. And I'm not familiar with this writer. I don't know him at all. So maybe he'll become one of the poets that I look up to, you know? Maybe he'll become a favorite. Or maybe he won't, you know, maybe I'll fucking hate him. I don't know. But we'll see. I guess we'll see. So we're gonna put that one to the side because we are done with it. Now for the honorable mention. I did say that Nakaro, no, I can't speak. No, oh my god. Nabokov. It was Nabokov. Nabokov, right? Hold on. Yeah, Nabokov. I'm sleepy. Leave me alone. So I said that, you know, pretty weird book of his, Lolita. But that's the Russians, right? The Russians are weird. And I wanted to give an honorable mention to this one. 8 great Russian short stories. I haven't read all 8, but I did start it a couple days ago, and I read the first story, and I gotta tell you, the name is Death and the Soldier by Alexander Afanasiev, I think I'm pronouncing that right, but I'll put it right here on the screen, right up here, so that you can maybe look it up, because this story it's quite something. It's very funny. It's very interesting story. I don't know if they mean to. And see, that's the thing, right? That's why I thought about this one when I was describing Lolita, because this story also has sort of that element of humor, without outright being humorous. Like, it's not really. You can tell it's not a comedy. It's not written with a purpose to make laugh, but it still maintains that humor. But the humor is very absurd. So it's I don't know. It's just very Russian, and describing Lolita made me think of this. So there's the honorable mention, which I also got in the used bookstore. It's a very nice little bookstore. It's a little piece of heaven, in my humble opinion. I might actually go tomorrow, and if I go tomorrow, you can expect another book haul pretty soon. This is really interesting. Also, I mean, this is gonna be a second honorable mention. Honorable. Like, learn to speak, bro. So that's the thing, right? I have if I'm tired, like, okay, so I learned English. English is not my first language, and my native tongue is Spanish, and Spanish, depending where you're from, is spoken very fast. And I was one of those people that I was always told that I spoke very fast. So, as I was learning English, I also had to be very careful with the speed of my speech, and be very aware of how I was pronouncing words. I had to be very careful when speaking. But now, because I've sort of like trained myself to do that, if I get tired, if I'm sleepy, if I'm not like at 100%, I either make too many stops or have to think a little bit more, or I just completely slur my words. I'll just like mispronounce shit and my accent comes out. But I wanted to mention this one because I thought it was really interesting in this little bookstore, this used books bookstore. I don't know why, but they had a bunch of books in French. They also had books in Portuguese. I can kind of understand Portuguese because I speak Spanish, and they are very closely related. If you speak Spanish, it's pretty funny. You like hear Portuguese, and even though you can't pick up every word and you don't know exactly what they're saying, you do understand what they're trying to tell you. So it's they're very related. And as for the French, I have been meaning to practice my French. I don't speak it very well, by the way. I'm terrible at it, but I wanted to start reading some books in French so that I could start expanding my vocabulary and getting better at speaking it. And when I was thinking of doing that, I just happened to come across this in that bookstore. So it's kind of like the same story of the which one is it that I said? I kind of just found it there, you know. It kind of just. Oh yeah, Jean-Paul Sartre on Cuba. That I just kind of found it after that being sort of like in my interest. It's kind of funny how that happens. It's like those little gems you finally pay attention when you've been like looking into those topics. I have friends who think that might be like signs from God or whatever, you know, like they think it's well, God wants me to practice my French because I found a French book in a bookstore. And like, what are the odds of me finding a French book in the city? Because French is not very common in the city. I think I've only ever met one other person who was learning French. They didn't even speak it, and I kind of practiced a little bit with them, so it was interesting. It's very basic though. My French is super basic, and sometimes I'll think something in Spanish and then translate it into French, or what I think it would be in French. Trying to learn French from English is a nightmare, but if you speak Spanish, then it gets a little easier because they have similar structures. So the way I think of a sentence in Spanish, sometimes if I translate it into French, that's exactly how it's said, and that's the correct use. But I'm gonna cut it there, my friends. I will finally start tagging my videos. I will be honest, I did see that I wasn't getting any comments or any likes or any views, so that's what sort of like get me from uploading too often. Because I did say that I would keep making videos even if one person was watching, and if one person wanted it, and if it helped at least one person. But if you don't get any comments or any likes or any kind of feedback, then you don't know, you know. You just like, you're sitting there with those very few views. And I don't know if it helped them. So if it helped you, leave a like just so that I can know that it helped you, or leave a dislike if you think I'm annoying, or if you just dislike me for any reason, and then send me your address so that we can fight it out, and we can see like Yeah, just send me your address so that I can go up over there and be like, what the fuck is up, dog? What is your problem? No, but like, to be honest, if you don't like the videos, you can always give a dislike. Or give me, I don't know, insult me or something. Hey, you fucking piece of shit. You were wrong about Thomas More. What? You don't know who Thomas More is? Fucking, you're an idiot. Some shit like that, I don't know. Listen, man, not everybody has to be 100% aware of every author that has ever existed. Even if it's something like very famous. My bad, bro. My bad that I didn't know. My bad. I'm fighting with ghosts here. Anyways, if I helped you sleep, if you feel a little relaxed, or if you just kind of like listening to me ramble about stupid shit and seeing the books that I get, do leave a like and tell me something in the comments. I don't know. You're free. You can say pretty much whatever you want. Alright, everyone. Have a good night.